the political crisis in River State that resulted into a state of emergency declared, are you seeing real efforts to reconcile the opposing parties? And what action should be taken towards that?
Well, as elders, we believe that peace is ultimate, and in getting peace, you must make sacrifices. There must be give and take. You can observe, Same has been very quiet, and he has been meeting with people, meeting with the president and others to ensure that the peace returns to the state. And that we encourage him to do, so long as he's doing it within the confine of the law and in the interests of Rivers people. On the other hand, the Wike camp is not talking peace. They are always talking tough. They are always behaving as if they have conquered. We can't get peace in that way. If we want peace, Wike himself, as a former governor, who is a leader of a state, should be able to embrace peace by talking to all the opinions, by coming out to reach out everybody that he wants peace. The problem in Rivers State is not only Wike and Sim. It's the soul of Rivers State. And so every Rivers son and daughter is involved. So if you want to make peace, the peace must be a compulsive. It must get to everybody, must be involved in the peace process. For Sim, honestly speaking, he has been trying to get this peace. But because Wike felt he has the federal mind at his corner, at his hand, so he can decide to do whatever he likes and say whatever he likes, disrespect people and cause all the confusion. The state of emergency declared in River State, some persons take it as if it's their right. But they have made Mr. President to violate the Constitution. And they are saying nobody should talk again, otherwise he will not come back. When you have already misled Mr. President to go contrary to the provisions of the Constitutions. And Mr. President himself would not be comfortable that he has gone contrary to several sections of the Constitution. And I think he's trying to retrace his feet to mend the mistakes. The National Assembly, on their part, also knows that they have also gone contrary to the Constitution. And so it's left for them to see how they can work on it, because the Constitution is very clear in section 11(4). It says the National Assembly can make laws in a state where the House of Assembly is not effective for reason of one reason or the other. But that law does not permit them to make law for the removal of the governor or deputy governor. Section 11(4) is very clear. So for them to even approve the emergency rule of Mr. President, that section is enough for them not to. They would have expunged that issue of suspension of governor, deputy governor, and House of Assembly from the Constitution, from the state of emergency declaration. Because Section 11 has tied their hand from making laws of removing governor or deputy governor. In addition to that, Section 305 is also very clear as to the condition under which an state of emergency will apply. And none of those conditions is applicable in Rivers State. Rivers State is a very peaceful state. Despite the state of emergency, the governor is a calm person. He had made sure there is no problem in the state. Even the so-called sole administrator that was appointed, an illegal sole administrator that was appointed, can attest to the fact that he has nothing to do. And that is why he is doing something ultra-vast. He is dismantling uh, the democratically elected structures, and even structures approved by the various House of Assembly, which is contrary to the law, because it has no power whatsoever to dissolve statutory boards. The Constitution does not recognize him at all. Even he has no right to go to Council of State meeting, because the Constitution does not recognize him at all. But you are saying that Nigeria should not talk because Mr. President has said so. And I said no. The government of Nigeria derived their powers from the Constitution. And it is very clear in section 14.2, where it is said, it is hereby declared that sovereignty belongs to the people of Nigeria, from whom government, through this constitution, derives all the powers and authority. So in Rivers State, the people of Rivers State, the state government derives their power from the people of Rivers State. That is what our constitution says in section 14.2. 14.1 is very clear. The Federation of Federal Republic of Nigeria shall be a state based on the principle of democracy and social justice. If section 14 says our government shall be based on democracy and social justice, it means dictatorship is ruled out. The Constitution foresaw it and said there should be no dictatorship. The Constitution is also very clear in section 1, supremacy of the Constitution. It says this Constitution is supreme, and whatever that this Constitution says is final. In section 1.2, it says the Federal Republic of Nigeria shall not be governed, nor shall any person or group of persons take control of the government of Nigeria or any part thereof, and accept in accordance with the provision of this Constitution. And so you are taking over a government of a state undemocratically. It's against the Constitution. The Constitution is also very clear. Any law made by even the National Assembly that is inconsistent with the Constitution is to that extent void. Now, National Assembly passed a resolution supporting state of emergency, contrary to the Constitution. So, Constitution is the key. And somebody say nobody should talk again because, they want to bring back same. And so we should not talk. If you talk, they will not bring it back. You can't beat a child that has not to cry. The president has offended the people of Rivers State. And so Rivers State must always protest that we are not fairly treated. The Constitution is very clear as to how we should be treated fairly. Every part of the country should be treated fairly. And so if the law is there and we are not obeying the law, then there is a problem. We must talk. So all those people who think nobody should talk, if you talk, same will not come back, they are not fair. The Wike himself has offended Rivers people. Has he apologized to Rivers people? Has he said sorry to Rivers people? If he wants to make peace, is that the way we will make the peace? Coercing Rivers people? Making them to behave like as if we are nobody? Which the Constitution guarantees us that we have the right as citizens of this country to work within the law. So if we are going contrary to the law and say we should not talk, it's not working. Other than that, the Rivers elders are very desirous of making sure that peace returned. And above all, SIM is returned to the office. That is our desire. We have maintained it. We are not fighting because it is SIM. We are fighting for the integrity and survival of Rivers State. Because whatever action you take that affects Rivers persons affects everybody. As a people of Rivers State, we are not comfortable with what is going on. We are not happy with what is going on. And so peace must return in line with the Constitution. You don't do us a favor by giving us peace. The Constitution guarantees us peace, guarantees us fair treatment. So that is what we are asking for. Grant us the fair treatment the Constitution has given to us. And we must be governed democratically, not through a military fiat. Dictatorship is not part of democracy. The National Assembly is empowered by law to make laws that will bring peace and stability in the country, in any part of the country. And as it were, there are crises in Rivers State, and they have made mistakes. The president has also made a mistake by going contrary to the Constitution. And so it is behold on them to see how they can remedy it. Because the crisis in Rivers State that we're talking about is just between misunderstanding between the former governor and his godson, Sim. And it's expected that two of them can enter the room and resolve this matter as father and son or as friends. But one party is insisting that you must remove a governor elected by Rivers people. You want to remove him by all means. That is where we are. So if they are setting up a committee to reconcile, no problem, provided the reconciliation will take into account that there are Rivers people that are injured. And the reconciliation will be in the best interest of Rivers State and Nigeria, not the best interest of a particular person. If it is the interest of the particular person or either of the persons, then it is not a reconciliation. Then it becomes a graveyard reconciliation that can erupt anytime. We want fairness, we want the truth, and we want to treat everybody fairly. So if they are setting up a committee, not a rubber stamp committee to do what the illegality, but a committee that will fairly listen to the crisis and resolve it, we welcome it. But any resolution that is contrary to the well-being of Rivers State will not be accepted.
What do you think of the commando style used to recover official vehicles from the deputy governor?
Like I said, the president has brought in a military rule in Rivers State, contrary to the law of the land. And you have made Rivers State out of the 36 states of the Federation, indirectly asking us to declare for our independence under a military government. But we are not so stupid to go against Nigeria because we believe in Nigeria. We believe in Nigeria as a country and the sovereignty of Nigeria. And we would not go anything contrary to what the law says. The sole administrator, who is an impostor, an illegal authority, is doing whatever he likes. If he can dissolve independent electoral commission and appoint people without due process, if he can appoint local government authorities contrary to the Supreme Court judgment, if he can just spend money, take allocation contrary to the Supreme Court judgment, then it's military style which the president has committed. Mr. President has committed an offense by appointing a sole administrator contrary to the Constitution. It's an impeachable offense. It's an offense against the land, offense against the Constitution. And the Constitution is very clear. You cannot rule Nigeria or any part thereof other than the provision of this Constitution. And so Mr. President has done all this. I think sole administrator should realize that whatever you do, everything that goes up must come down. A time shall come when it will be questioned on which authority was he doing it. Because so far as we are concerned, whatever he's doing, taking over deputy governor's car, destroying, destabilizing the government or destroying the structures, are illegal and they are of no standing under the eyes of the law. They are illegal. The judiciary is not also helping matters. The judiciary is supposed to be the checkmate. But in this context, they are not also following the law. They don't obey the Constitution also. They just do whatever they like and they are compromised. It's open compromise. It's not only in this political matter, even in other several matters, you can see the judiciary being compromised. We need cleansing. We need to cleanse the judiciary, there's need to cleanse the executive, there's need to cleanse the purge the National Assembly for this country to move forward. The Constitution is very clear about corruption, that we should eradicate corruption. That should be section 102, that we must eradicate corruption. So if we will eradicate corruption, then the executive must take steps. And the leadership of the judiciary must also take steps to comply with the Constitution, where the Constitution says we must ensure that corruption is eradicated in the system. And if we don't do that, then we will tilt towards a dictatorship, a one-party state, a dictatorship that can decide or do whatever they like, contrary to the Constitution. And when that happens, you will expect anarchy. You will expect social disorder. These are the things we must guard against. You see, Nigeria should learn a lesson. We must look at the political history of Nigeria to know how we metamorphosed to where we are, and prevent those things that made those early democracy to fail. We must also learn from Ghana how corrupt officials were killed by mutiny, by government to say these people are corrupt, so kill them. And Nigeria, we also witnessed how many years Nigerian politicians are imprisoned in Nigeria. Some 100 years, some 200 years. And most of them died in the process. We are not learning. Politicians are not learning. Politicians are not learning. Because if we are learning from the judiciary to the legislature to the executive, we must seem to be fair and just. But what we are doing is purely illegality. And Nigerians are watching. We are not happy. Today you are in government. Government is assisted. It will not last forever. Except this government want to make themselves life government, life president. Except Tinubu wants to make himself life president, and the National Assembly accept to be life president. Otherwise, it's 8 years. Another government will come. And that government may have the right to probe you, to know how you have managed the country. So they should learn. They should learn from this and see how best we can salvage Nigeria. Particularly Rivers State, we are begging Mr. President to retrace his step, to know that he has made mistake, to know he has violated the Constitution, and see that the needful is done. We want peace, and for us to get peace, both parties must work together to get peace. Not one party castigating the other party because the other party is silent. They are silent does not mean they are weak. They want peace. They want to see that we get peace without any rancor. So every party must work towards peace and not to be issuing statements that are aggravating.
The FCC minister described the protest walkout of Rivers women at Mrs. Tinubu's empowerment program as shameful and disrespectful statement.
The Nigerian citizens are not sycophants. We are not sycophants to anybody. If the women went there to see the wife of the president, and instead of the wife of the president, they said an illegal person. The wife of the sole administrator is not a legal person. It's not recognized by law. And so they cannot legalize what they say legal. And they walked away. It's a point to prove that Rivers people are conscious of the law. It's not about same or not same. It does not concern same. All it concerns is the people are saying Mrs. Tinubu should come and address them, and not to bring an impostor, an office that we did not recognize, to come and address the Rivers people. When Mrs. Tinubu comes, they will be there to listen to her, not the sole administrator's wife. The sole administrator today invites me, I won't go as a person. If someone don't invite me to come for a meeting, I won't attend that meeting. Because I don't recognize him as a legal body in Nigeria to sit in River State seat. There is no part of the constitution that authorizes him to be there. We are not running a military dictatorship. We are running a democracy. And the constitution is very clear that everything in this section 14, we must run this country with the principle of democracy and social justice. So what the people did was right. It's not about sin. It's right, because that is what we believe in. The people saw when they had to see Tinubu, and they went to see, instead of Tinubu, they are sending the sole administrator's wife. How can she address them? They would have sent even the governor of Bayelsa State's wife. If the governor of Bayelsa State's wife comes to address them, they will accept it. But that's a constituted body. That's a recognized body. Any of the governors' wives can represent Tinubu, not the sole administrator. No. And so the minister is trying to fan embers of war, and he said in one piece. How can you go one piece when they are fighting the embers of war? Sole administrator knows that it's no longer doing things that people don't see. It's very naked. He had a script he's playing, which is contrary to the spirit of democracy. Democracy is very clear that Section 1 has made it clear. You cannot run the state without the provision of the law. And this is at the posture, not recognized by the law. So he's coming to do whatever he likes because he has no stake. It's not strange to us. He has no stake. So he can do whatever he likes. He's even working towards extending the 6 months that was provided in the state of emergency, so that we continue to stay there and squander our money. The National Assembly has called him to give account of how much he has received and how he has spent it. He's not willing to go there because he feels he's a military administrator. But he has forgotten he's a retired army officer. He's no longer in service. He's a retired officer. He's no longer in service. And so if he comes to squander our money, thinking that nobody will call him to order, a constitutional government will come and ask him to come and give account. And also compel the state high court to arrest him. Time shall come when justice will come to play. But what he's doing in the state is not acceptable to the people of River State. We own the state. The state belongs to the people. And if what you are doing is not entirely what the people want, then what you are doing is becoming purely illegal and it's robbery. Like I said, SAME has done everything humanly possible even before the state of emergency was declared to make peace, to comply with the Supreme Court judgment so they can make peace. Wike and his group are hell-bent in making sure SAME is removed. We cannot get peace under that condition. The only way we can get peace condition is genuinely. There must be genuine reconciliation where they can forgive one another. They are propaganda that, SAME knelt down and worship Wike. If there's a spirit of reconciliation, if SAME did that, it was not supposed to be a news. If there's a true spirit of reconciliation, I am not saying SAME did that, but from the propaganda, SAME did that. But even SAME did that, and there's true reconciliation, I'm not supposed to say it. All you are trying to do is to castigate SAME. It will not work. Let there be peace. Let there be reconciliation. Let everybody come together and we work together. This is not the first time people have disagreement. During the Obasanjo time, there was a disagreement between Goodluck Jonathan and the Timi Alaibi. All Obasanjo did was to bring them together and say give and take. Let's see how we can move on. And peace restored. Certain part of the governance was given to Alaibi, and the majority was given to Goodluck as a president, as a governor then. And they worked together and there was peace. Modalities can be worked out. For us to get peace, this is how we want to do it. You have this, and let's move on. But you cannot tell SIM or Rivers people that SIM should not contest second term. We will not accept it. Because we are to determine who becomes our governor. Not president, not Wike. But if you want to get part of the government, nobody's against it. Everybody knows the role Wike played in SIM emergence. And SIM knows that. That's why he's not fighting him. That is why he's not doing anything. That is why they can even take this advantage. If it is some of them, they would not, Wike would not even come to River State. I thought they said, want to go to Bayelsa. And when it happened in Bayelsa, he ran away. He said it was Bayelsa, but he ran. Because he has met his match. When the governor said, don't come, you say you come. And you went there and you saw what happens there. You did not stay, you ran from what he said. He ran from the hotel he was. But Sim, because of the respect he has for him, has been very quiet. We saw what he did to Amechi. He was making the state very uncomfortable for Amechi. But Sim did not do that to him. Sim has been very peaceful to him. Sim still loves him. Like I said every day, Sim would never support anything against Wike. Otherwise, these assembly members would have been charged for perjury and jailed long time before even this time. But Sim refused. He has done that. He's not going to do anything that will harm Wike and his supporters. So what else will he do? He has been doing anything to get peace. So Wike, as the eldest, should also embrace peace. Come down, let's discuss. Apologize to Rivers people for what you have done. You have tried to stop progress in Rivers State. Rivers State was progressing. Same was doing everything in Rivers State. Roads were built, hospitals built, schools. A lot of things were going on in the state. They are commissioning every month. You have stopped all that. And you brought somebody to come and loot our body. We don't know how much. He has not paid any contractors since he came. So what happens to our money? So what happens to our money? What do I do with our money? Because our son brought you to come and work for him so he will take over structure. If you have structure, why do you use force? But we are past that stage. We are saying, let all of us bury our sword. We are brothers, we are friends. We are from the same place, we together. Let's come together as brothers, let's come together as friends, and live together as one. That's what we're asking for. We must learn to forgive each other. Until we have that genuine love and genuine forgiveness, how can we get peace? So if we can want peace, same, we're trying to give him peace. Rivers people would try to support them to get that peace. We are already for peace. But don't think that because you can coerce us. Don't think because you have power, presidential power, you can change the law. You can go against the constitution and nobody should talk. That cannot work. But if we want genuine peace to say, let's forget the past, we can genuinely forget the past and move on. Why should it be sharing? You see, we are saying the whole fight is about River State money. You have taken so much money of our companies of our money. You are flooding the whole state with your investment and assets. Contrary to the law, no governor has done that in River State before. The kind of affluence you show, you are not still satisfied. If you want to come and share with the governor, come and share. We don't have problem. If the governor is foolish enough to give you the whole state to go and squander, let him do it. But what we are after now is we want peace. The governor was elected by Rivers people to run the state. Allow him to run the state. Whatever you want from him, talk to him quietly. As colleagues, as people who have worked together, Mr. Governor, can you help me do this? Mr. Grace will be graciously enough to do it for you. But not to by force him. You must do this, you must do that, contrary to the law. He must abide by the law. Because if you default the law, you are the one to still accuse him of defaulting the law. So if you can ask within the law, the governor will do it for you. There's nothing wrong in it. Anybody can go to the governor and ask for a favor. The governor will do it. And he has been doing it. So there's nothing in it. But not to say governor must take permission from you before you do anything. As an elected governor, that would not be acceptable by Rivers. The governor may accept, but Rivers people will not accept it. My advice to Rivers people is for them to stay calm. Because we believe in democracy, we believe that justice will come to play. They should not take the laws into their hand, as they have not taken from beginning to now. Let us watch the event as it unfolds. Let us have faith in God, because He is the greatest redeemer. If you oppress us, God will oppress you. So if you have faith in God to say, God, even the Israelites, when they were oppressed by the Egyptians, they cried to God, and God salvaged them. And when Pharaoh refused to listen, he saw what happens to Pharaoh in the Red Sea. So we believe that we trust in God, and so all of us should continue to trust in God, because He will fight our cause for us. So justice and fair play will come in. River State will become greater than what it is. My advice to Wike and his group is to draw your sword. Let's talk peace. Let's work peace. Let's eat peace. Let's be together as one.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Please.